Welcome back to the channel. We've got another DW Kings super target here. This one on a Smith Wesson triple lock. Add to that, it's a 3-digit triple lock. So first year production for the triple lock, which was Smith Wesson's first real foray into a large frame. I believe, as Elmer Keith called them, 45 caliber framed double action revolvers with a swing out cylinder, certainly. They did make some top breaks and large calibers prior to, but so I believe they, this was a big gun for Smith & Wesson, coming out with more powerful, capable handguns. Triple locks have 3 locking points on them. The one here at the back, this one here, which was the 3rd lock, that later went away until the 90s when the Performance Center started putting it back into some of the custom guns they were churning out. A little different than this one, than the original triple lock, but they did add a 3rd lock there, and then the lock at the front of the ejector rod there. So there's your 3 locks. This gun, as I said, is a King Super Target. Has a full-length rib on the barrel, marked Smith & S&W King Super Target there. Reflector front sight, red post front. This one does not have a white outline rear. It just has a pretty narrow, pretty tight notched rear sight. Doesn't give you a lot of light on either side of that front sight, but I'm sure that is how it was specified when done by King's gun sight. The other interesting thing about this gun, other than the stunning ivory grips with the pre-war medallions, is this gun has the short action job from King's. Now that shortens the throw of the hammer and makes the double action feel altogether different. These early guns had a much longer action than the post-war guns. It feels different, and this one feels different. It's in a class all its own, outside of the post-war guns and the normal pre-war actions. So it has that short action. You'll see that the hammer breaks at, less than halfway back on double action, which was a modification King's became known for, and they did short action work on Colts and Smith & Wessons. This gun came out of a very big collection of custom handguns from a internet friend out of Texas. I was lucky enough to procure this one. Not when it sold from his estate, but at a second auction that it was sold at months later. 44 Special, of course. It's funny, you look at a gun like this and you think, well, you never see another one of those, but the fella who owned this for many years actually had 2 of them, both 3-digit triple locks, both King Super Target guns. This one has been reblued since the King's work. I believe it has a reblue date under the grips that probably corresponds with either being reblued prior to going to King's or shortly after. But then it was later reblued. There's some pitting under the bluing. Pretty nice job, but not a factory quality refinish on it. But it's a great shooter piece for a guy that wants a King Super Target, and being 44 Special is just bonus points for me. And so this gun has a 6.5-inch barrel, and not much else really to say about it. They're very rarely do these come up, large frame Super Targets, because most of the target shooting in the day would have been done with 38s and 22s. Not too many guys were going out and punching paper with 44 Specials, so the gun was probably done up for a gentleman who either liked big bore revolvers and wanted the best he could get at the time, which is this is it. This is as good as it got for a feature set. Or someone who was hunting with it, a guy who wanted a field pistol with the best sights available and the best action available, and wanted it in a caliber that could take game here in North America. Hopefully you guys like this one. This is one of my favorites because it combines a lot of great things and a lot of things that I really love in a custom handgun. In that, you know, it's got known custom work done to it from a high-ranking shop. It's old. You can't buy this stuff new. Nobody's doing this kind of work today. Certainly not on this level. And it's got ivory grips, and how can you be mad at some really nice aged Elephant Ivory on a old custom gun? If you guys have any questions, leave them below. Tune back in for more custom handgun content as they come across the bench here. Thanks.